It's December 14th, our son and daughter-in-law's 9th wedding anniversary. Through the gifts of technology and a November deadline for this devotional, we're with them in Seattle in their home that is a blaring cacophony of the sounds of a baby and a 3-year-old, sounds that bring such joy to grandparents' ears. December 14th brings another memory to mind, for it's also the 9th anniversary of the shootings at Sandy Hook Elementary. What began as an ordinary Friday morning changed the lives of the entire town of Newtown, Connecticut, most especially the families of those 21st graders who were killed that day. It could have been a day that changed the trajectory of gun violence in our country. Sadly, it did not. But I changed. I literally tore up the sermon I was preaching that Sunday, deciding that no longer was it enough to offer thoughts and prayers for the victims. It was time for those thoughts and prayers to lead us to action. It was then the organization God Before Guns was birthed. We said, enough, not one more. Sadly, it wasn't enough. And so today, God Before Guns is still hard at the work of working to end gun violence. Deaths for 109 people die every single day in our country, and more than twice that number are injured. And the numbers have only increased during the pandemic. The numbers are so staggering that people believe there's just nothing that can be done. It's too late. There are too many guns in our country. It seems our country's leaders are unwilling to offer anything except their thoughts and prayers. So many times those words said without any change resulting, so many times those 3 words have become sort of a joke. The Urban Dictionary says thoughts and prayers are an expression of indifference to tragedy intended to be seen as empathetic. Stop praying, do something. I've responded in anger to those 3 words, but my more reasoned response is this. It's not an either or, pray or do something. No follower of Jesus can accept that the time for prayer has ended. Recently, I recorded an interview with a young mother who is a survivor of gun violence, still dealing with daily limitations from her injuries from a shooting at her workplace 8 years ago. Taylor Schumann is a lifelong Christian who grew up in the gun culture in the South and now has written a book titled When Thoughts and Prayers Aren't Enough. Schumann says, I have a complicated relationship with thoughts and prayers. It goes on to write, I believe in the power of prayer. I believe in praying for others, and I am thankful every day for people who have and continue to pray for me. Every time I see a shooting on the news, I pause to pray. Every time. It's not the thoughts and prayers I'm tired of. It's pretending the thoughts and prayers are all we have to do and all we have to offer. I ask all of us to imagine a world where we lay down the weapons of this world and try out the ways of Jesus for a change. The worst that can happen, we end up more like him and less like this world. I closed with a question asking Taylor what sort of world she wanted for her 3-year-old son, Henry. She answered without hesitation, a world where kids go to school and they all come home. She says this as her distracting, adorable, precious child is climbing all over the back of her shoulders. Today, December 14th, and the devotional is from Isaiah 11, who describes a world in which the wolf shall live with the lamb and a little child shall lead them. A world in which God's love is revealed. May our thoughts and prayers lead us to what we can do to help build that world. Amen.